of people are trying to compare this market to 2006, 2007 when we had the bubble. There is no bubble.
Florida's once booming housing market is losing steam, and the shift is hitting home sellers across the state. Experts say property values are dropping, buyers are hesitating, and investors are starting to pull back.
Well. These realtors, man, they always try to get the commission. Listen, I don't blame them. I don't blame. This economy is tough, guys. If you look at the real estate agents, they're circling back around. They're saying, listen, we didn't know that the market was going to do this. we didn't know. We didn't know. But you do want to sell that house, right? That I sold you a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. We're going to put that on the market, right? But I just want to let you know, we're going to have to drop that price. Yeah. The way that this market is going, I don't know if you heard. But there's a lot of inventory on the market right now. Yeah. So we're going to have to drop that price down. I mean, my commission is still going to be the same. Yeah, it is. But we're going to have to drop the price down. I know. I told you that, in a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, this property was going to be generational wealth.
Lies, and more lies, and lies on top of lies.
See, on this video, guys, you guys need to watch this one all the way through, because we're going to go across the country so I can show you guys that the housing market cooling down, crash, whatever you want to call it, buyer's market, is spreading. It's spreading. Are we there yet? I know that's what you want to know. You got to watch the video. My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel, guys. Also, too, I have a newsletter. It's completely free. How can you be free? You can. And also, too, guys, if you need any type of financing that deals with commercial properties or investment properties, I've been in lending for almost 20 years. I can assist you with that. That information is in the pinned comment and in the description, guys. Listen, if you haven't been seeing all of the news, you've been noticing, no matter if it's tariffs or the economy, whatever's going on, we all know one thing is happening to the housing market. It is becoming a buyer's market. Really? Is it 100% there yet? No, it's not. Let's just be clear on that. But prices are dropping, and we're starting to see the hot spots that everybody moved to. We're talking about Texas, Austin, Dallas, Florida, Boise. All of these places are seeing big hits across the board, even going into some of the areas. Tennessee, we saw that. Everybody was saying, we're moving here. All of these cities are now seeing red declines. Now, listen, I don't want to be the guy who told you so. I don't want to be that guy, but let's go ahead and just take a look at what's happening in some of these areas.
Reporter Dave Elias is taking a closer look at what's driving the slowdown.
Well, no doubt the numbers are starting to tell a different story in Florida's housing market. After years of skyrocketing prices, we're learning now it's taking much longer for many homes to sell.
I had one property that was on the market for 10 months and did not sell. We did get offers. They were very lowball offers.
One reason, inventory in Southwest Florida is high.
It's at a record level for, if you were to compare it to, when we had no inventory.
Ingalls and Volker realtor Sue Cristiano points out that Lee County has more than 17,000 homes for sale, Collier County over 9,000, and Charlotte County more than 5,800. Are you worried as a realtor?
No, I'm not. A lot of people are trying to compare this market to 2006, 2007 when we had the bubble. There is no bubble. I think the key word is correction.
She says while some homeowners are lowering home prices, many are forced to make major improvements to sell their homes.
Well, let me just go ahead and add this in. She said this. She said, listen, inventory is up from compared to we had no inventory. That is somewhat true, but let's be honest. The amount of inventory that's in would be bad for any time period. Let me say that again. The amount of inventory is bad, period. It doesn't matter if you compare it to the year before or the year before that. The amount of inventory in that market, in these markets, especially South Florida, it would be bad anytime. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. So while this real estate agent is trying to tell you, yeah, we had a house on the market for 10 months and it didn't sell. We didn't really get that many people to actually come in, but this is not a bubble. Make it make sense. Real estate agents, I know you watch the videos. You guys come into the comment section and say things like,
Orlando, this isn't true. Orlando, you're telling people not to buy a house.
and they should buy a house. They should buy a house. It doesn't matter if it's 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 over asking. They should still buy the house. Because they're going to make so much money in the next 3 to 4, 5, 6, 8 years. They won't know what to do with it. You told them not to. You're basically, Orlando, telling them the generational wealth that they're going to gain in the next 8 years, you're taking that out of their pocket.
Mild shock.
I need the real estate agent to tell me. So you're telling me if a house sits on the market for 10 months and it doesn't sell, and you see this happening with multiple listings, is the market okay? Listen, I'm asking for a friend.
They either have to change, put a new roof on, or determine whether they want to do that or get an estimate for a roof. And the roof is $25,000, so now the house is listed and it's in the notes. Home needs a new roof, it's reflected in the price.
A new roof can lower the cost of home insurance, and a big plus, she says, for buyers.
We're definitely seeing a lot more of that, the calls from the realtors coming in and having us go out and double check, give a lot of estimates.
Eagle Roofing owner Greg Martin is seeing those improvements firsthand.
The calls coming in from realtors, buyers, sellers.
Noting he's inspecting more roofs because buyers don't want to assume an extra debt right now.
The roof, that's probably going to be the most major repair you'll ever make on your house. Because it is the most important part of the home.
The fact remains that home sales are down nearly 10% in Southwest Florida as more homes come on the market every day.
We all sat back and we watched our property values go up and up, and now they softened a bit.
Now they're softening a bit. they're just a little bit softening. HOAs are high, insurance is high, going to the grocery store is high, gas is high, rent is high, property taxes are high, everything's high.
That's cold-blooded.
So these guys are trying to explain to you by a real estate agent telling you, oh, it's the roofs. It's the roofs. People don't want to pay for roofs. The reason why this house sat on the market for 10 months is because they just didn't want to replace the roof. You believe that? You believe that houses aren't selling in Florida because of roofs. Make it make sense to me, guys. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. We got to put our thinking caps on. We got to put our thinking caps on. There is no way that a house is sitting on the market for 10 months and it's because of a roof.
Use your common sense.
I mean, if it had no roof, I can understand that. But this lady is literally trying to make you guys believe, first of all, this is not a bubble. And then she states this isn't 2008 where everybody can get a loan. Well, ma'am, it was before 2008. It was before 2008, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You're saying that it's harder for individuals to get loans now. That's the reason why these houses are on the market. Nothing else, though. Remember, this is what she said. I'm not saying it. Let's go ahead and move on to Texas.
Something that nobody is talking about is how cooked the Houston real estate market is. And here's what I mean. I have a flip right now that I'm about to list in the next 2 weeks. And initially, when I was going to list this home, when we went to flip it 2 months ago, there was only about 3 to 4 active listings. Right now, there is 1, 2, 3, 6. There is 10. No pendings. And this is a neighborhood that is, the average ARV is around $230,000. When I bought this home, I was planning on listing it for $220,000. Now, looking at these comps, I may have to list it a little bit lower, and that's just to compete. I mean, I'm still going to be significantly under all of these houses, but the main problem is just we have an oversupply in the market right now.
Let me hear that again. Are you telling me that inventory is an issue? Meaning it's too much inventory. Now listen, I do remember, I don't know if you guys have seen my previous videos, but I do remember, and I have posted tons of real estate agents, tons of your favorite influencers telling you guys, you better buy now. If you don't buy now, the greatest wealth generator that you have ever seen is going to pass you by.
Sure.
The only problem is they got it wrong. It's a wealth generation going the other way. That's right. If you bought a house in the last 2 to 3 years, you bought a house in the last 4 to 5 years. How's the house pricing? How's the value of the house going? Is it more expensive to maintain? Let me guess. You're having the issue with property taxes. Let me guess. Your insurance has went up 2 to 3 times. Let me guess. Property taxes and insurance are more than the actual mortgage. And you still want to do things to the house, but guess what? You didn't realize it was going to cost this much more to add on a patio. You didn't know it was going to cost this much more to get the kitchen redone. Oh, that bathroom that you want to get redone? It's $25,000 now. Then on top of that, your insurances went up from $1,000 to $6,000. Property taxes in Texas, you originally, when you got the house built, it was $2,000. You thought, woo, I beat it.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready! This year you got the tax bill and it was $12,000. And you're wondering, the real estate agent didn't tell me this. Now I'm showing you a video of a gentleman in Texas who's doing flips. And we know what happened with the guys who did flips. It was another one that I was trying to let people know. These flips, while you think it's a great idea for an investor, there were too many people just jumping in head first. Not knowing, not understanding, not doing any research. Same thing happened with Airbnb. Now what are we seeing? Now we're seeing individuals who are investor or who want to live in a home saying, I didn't know it was this expensive.
And because rates are so high, it's just a catastrophe for what is coming. I mean, we are headed into the busiest season of the year and homes are just sitting. Me personally, I have over 8 flips on the market currently just sitting. I'm underpriced on all of them. I have better finishes on all of them. We are following up with all the showings. I mean, like, we are doing everything that we can to sell these homes. And I was talking to a buddy of mine actually about a new deal. And we were talking I never thought I would see the day when you would have a problem trying to sell homes under $250,000 in Houston because it's so affordable. So it makes it very tricky. So if you're buying flips, be very safe out there. 60% of ARV is a good starting point. It's getting rough, guys. May the strong survive.
Did you hear that? All of that. Now, a lot of that was investor talk. All I really want you to understand is, as a person who may not be an investor, someone who's just looking for a home, the main thing that you have to understand is that a lot of these fixer-uppers, a lot of these individuals who are doing fix and flips, they're trying to sell. They're trying to get rid of all of the properties. Remember when people were saying, man, all of these flippers are coming in, they're buying all of these houses, and then they're flipping them. These guys are trying to sell them. Now, let's be clear. Let's be clear. How many of these flipped homes have we seen where the flooring is coming up, where the roof isn't done, where the foundation in the basement has a huge crack in it, where people are buying these flips just because, remember this, just because they fixed them up on the outside. But you didn't have anyone go in and do an inspection. You didn't have an inspector go in and say, hey, look, this is a flip, and I need you to bring out the magnifying glass. You knew it was a flip, and you still went and bought it sight unseen. What we're seeing is individuals saying to themselves, I think I'm just stay away from flips because it comes with too many problems after the fact. And we all know what happens after the fact. You can't get in contact with the guy who did the flip. He's gone. He's a ghost. Your real estate agent, he doesn't even work in the industry anymore until he comes back into the industry to sell your property. He'll come back for that. But if you need him before then, hands off. But you need to resell it, he's back. Oh no. But see, we're not done yet. Now we're going to go to California because this is what you guys said you wanted, right? You got a lot of times I hear people in the comments saying, Orlando, I get what you're saying, but you're just talking about Florida. You're just talking about Nashville. Well, I got you.
At this point, I'm honestly convinced that a lot of homeowners are going to lose their homes in the next couple of years, and here is why. I'm a real estate agent in California, and for the past 3 to 6 months, most of the listing appointments I had were from people that purchased the property within the last 3 years, and now they are forced to sell because they cannot afford to pay the mortgage. Property taxes increased, and also the insurance increased drastically, increasing their monthly payment sometimes by 20-25%. Now, considering that everything is so expensive and the interest rates have been high, a lot of these buyers were forced to go up to their debt to income ratio for up to 45 to 50% of this income in order to qualify for their house. And even if their income did not change in a negative way, they're spending so much more money on basic necessities like food, gas, electricity, just day-to-day stuff that with the increase in their mortgage and their payment, their monthly payment, makes it almost impossible for them to be able to afford keeping that house. I wonder what's happening, but the signs are not good, and I will not be shocked if I see tons of more listings coming on the market just because people can't afford to keep those.
Isn't that a shame? But what's even more a shame is you hear this coming from real estate agents. Real estate agents are on one end, again, like I always say, they're double dipping. It's not really double dipping, but you understand what I'm saying. Like on one end, they told you
100,000 asking over. That's what you're gonna have to do.
And a lot of you guys are like, well, I mean, he's the professional, so he has to know exactly what's going on. But I've done videos on this before where I told you, and I know real estate agents don't like it, when I say the barrier of entry to become a real estate agent is non-existent. It's a multiple choice test. Again, I know people get mad at me when I say it, but it's the truth. It's you're a real estate agent, can work at McDonald's. Your real estate agent is a DoorDash driver. Most of the time, they're doing gig work in addition to them being a real estate agent. Fact. Well, I'm not going to deny there's some really good agents out there, but there are a ton. There are a ton of bad ones out there. And especially since everyone thought that it was easy money during the pandemic to make money off of you guys. No, that's what people were saying in the comment section, on forums, on real estate agent forums. They were saying, oh, these guys are idiots. You can become a real estate agent and you can make a big bag. That's what they were saying, off of these idiots.
Wait, what?
A lot of these real estate agents knew that they were going to jump in and jump right back out.
Get money.
You didn't know that. I was telling you guys that a lot of these agents were doing that, and we have seen it in the numbers. All you have to do is look at the numbers for how many real estate agents have left the industry versus how many came in a couple of years ago. And it's a big number of them that left. Now, I know some of the people from Texas are gonna be like, see, look, this is crazy. How did people leave California on a really expensive housing market, come to Texas, and then ruin our housing market? Why don't they just go back to their own housing market and ruin and stay with that expensive housing market instead of ruin our housing market? Listen, this is the way markets go, man. I'm trying to let you guys know, this is the way markets go. Think about this. If you left California because it was too expensive for you to live in California. And a lot of people always tell me, Orlando, property taxes and insurance, they're really not that expensive. Not from what I've seen. Have you guys seen the prices? Try to find a house in San Francisco. It's easily $1 million. Oh! You're trying to tell me it's not that expensive in California, but their own people that live there say it's expensive and they leave. Why would it be a surprise that California is having a horrible housing market when majority of people were trying to leave because it was too expensive? Did it get less expensive in California? I don't think so. Aren't we having wildfires? Aren't we having your governor saying the most outrageous things, talking about, oh, we're going to save you guys in property taxes. We're going to work out the insurance. When? Florida governor is saying the same thing. He's doing the, oh, guys, listen, property taxes. I don't believe in property tax. We're gonna cancel property taxes. You believe him?
Yeah, I know. I heard that. That's corny.
What's going to replace the money that came in from property taxes to go to schools? Is the government going to pay for it? Are you kidding? You're kidding me if you really believe this. You really believe this, Governor? Did he just tell you property insurance would go down and that car insurance would go down and then nothing happened? I did a video on that too.
The housing market is and sellers are feeling it. How's the housing market where you're at? Because here in Phoenix, it is cold. Inventory levels year over year up over 40%. We're talking 2016 levels. That's the most in 10 years. Median sales price year over year down over 5%. But honestly, I still think there is a long way to go before housing is affordable, and I'm here for it.
Bet she is. I bet she is. But listen, it still doesn't negate the point of what she's saying that's happening in Phoenix. Phoenix is one of those areas that tons and tons and tons of people were buying houses and buying over asking.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
I used to get tons of individuals saying, Orlando, I want to buy an investment property and I'm going to do $100,000 over asking. And I'll be like, I don't think you want to do that because you're going to kill your cash flow. Now, this is on the investor side, obviously. Even on the side where someone lives in it, I had people say $70,000 over asking. They would send me emails and DMs and say, Orlando, do you think I should pay $70,000 over asking? And I said, you do watch my videos, right? You must not watch my videos because I literally say, do not overpay. And you're asking me, should you pay $70K over asking? It's wild. It's wild.
Come on, man!
And then you would hear from the sellers. The sellers would be having a heyday. The sellers would be like, you know what? If there was no time to sell your property right now, this is the time. Just boost it up. You didn't think you could get $150,000 over asking? Try it. You'll get it. These people will pay $150,000 over asking. Those are their words, guys. That's not my words. The sellers were saying these idiots will pay for it. This is on forums. This is on Reddit. Look it up. They don't care. They said, we will not get this chance ever again. And they were right. Because we now see where prices are going. And again, this is one of the things that I've said from the longest. If you think prices will continue to go up, up, up and away, and you think this is going to last forever, you're crazy. When I saw prices going up during the pandemic, it's only going to last for a limited time. It's only going to last for so long. And that's what I was trying to tell people. Real estate agents were telling me, Orlando, we got another 10 years of this. And I would laugh. And people were like, Orlando, why are you laughing? This is ridiculous. You guys believe stuff like this? But see, we're not done yet. I'm going to show you guys an individual who lives in the St. Louis area who their realtor today is still telling them that, hey, if you want to win a house, you need to overbid. You know, in these areas where the market is hot, hot, and hot, they're telling you overbid. Here's the problem. You know what's currently happening. You know that people are regretting. You know that people are selling for losses right now. And people are still listening to this advice.
It's an evil world we live in.
We just made an offer on a house, and our realtor told us he thought it was going to go a lot over asking. And the whole time I was thinking, interest rates are 7%. This house isn't even updated. It was cute, but not updated, from the 80s.
Great.
I was thinking, no way. So we made an offer a little over asking, like what we were comfortable with, and we thought we really had a good shot. We did not get the house. To put it in even more context, our realtor sent us another house that we had looked at before this house that we didn't make an offer on, but it was a really cute house. That house went for $40,000 over asking. It was listed for $410,000, so it went for $450,000. It was 1,500 square feet. What is happening? Interest rates are 7% and people are still going $40,000 over asking. Like, I live in St. Louis, Missouri, and that's how things are going here. And
when I see things like this, I always think to myself, that was a blessing in disguise. Yes, that was a blessing in disguise, because you could have paid $40,000, $50,000. Did you hear what she said? It was a house that's old. It was made in the 80s. Made in the 80s, guys. That tells you right there, there's going to be issues. And you're paying over asking. And while I could hear in her voice that she wanted to win that bid, because again, this is the mentality of eBay winning, right? It's a system, is gamified so that you feel like we got to win. Go ahead, throw 10,000, throw 20,000 on there. And that's how people treat it. It's monopoly money to them.
The next thing you're about to see is get up out of here before I come put some more in your mouth. Last scene.
What if I told you the house is going to have issues? What if I told you the basement is going to need to be resealed because there's cracks in the foundation? What if I told you that bathroom and kitchen that you want to get redone, hence what she was talking about, is going to cost you $30,000, $40,000, $50,000? You didn't realize that because you thought it was just going to be $10,000 to do the kitchen. You thought it was going to be $5,000 to redo a bathroom. Sorry, you're using the old numbers. I'm sorry. Your real estate agent told you different. But if you look at the research, you will see it will cost you $30,000 to $50,000 to do that stuff. And I'm talking minimum. And these are just your wants. But here's the thing. A lot of people's wants are hidden as needs because they can't stay in that house with that kitchen looking like that. There's no way I can stay here because I wanted a modern kitchen. That's the reason why I bought the house. And then it comes to find out you don't even like dealing with maintenance. That's right. You don't even like maintenance on the house. I want a house, but I don't want to do any maintenance. I know. Sounds crazy, right?
What? Is it just me or is anyone else feeling like buying a home is just not happening? Here's 2 reasons why I think buying a traditional house isn't in the cards for me right now. Number 1, I thoroughly enjoy when maintenance is not my problem. Plumbing, roof repairs, lawn care. I love submitting a ticket and going on about my day. I don't have that cost troubling me.
Look, I'm not making it up. This is what home ownership is now. While you're trying to find the perfect price, you don't want to do anything associated with home ownership.
Is not my problem.
Imagine someone telling you, I want to buy a home or I want to buy a car. One of my biggest purchases or number 2 biggest purchases in my life, but I don't want to do any maintenance. I don't want to deal with oil changes. I don't want to deal with cleaning the car. I don't want to deal with replacing the tires. I just want to drive and maybe put gas in it. You would stare at the person and go, are you okay? That's how I'm looking at these individuals. And people say, Orlando, come on, man. The laughing. Did you just hear what this man said? Stop looking. If you don't want to do maintenance at all, did you hear what he said? I don't want to do maintenance at all. Stop looking to buy a house today. Today, stop it. It's over. Let's go ahead and end this video with another video that we can look at details of actually what's happening in the Florida housing market, South Florida, Miami in to be particular, because someone told me just the other day that Miami is a great place to sell. If you own a condo right now, you can make big bucks selling a condo. Unfortunately, they didn't know who I was, so they thought they were just easily convincing me. But I mean, I know better than that. But I'm going to share this information with you so you guys don't make the same mistake.
Miami real estate is crashing hard. We last checked in on Miami 2 months ago where they had 20% of their homes having price cuts. So what's happened since then? Redfin estimates around 9,000 homes for sale are in Miami, and that doesn't even include Miami Beach, which is another couple thousand. 413 homes sell every month, which comes out to 22 months of inventory, which is terrible. Now for context, a balanced market sees around 4 to 6 months of inventory. This is worse than it was 2 months ago, probably because it's summertime, and sellers have been told that the best time to sell is in the summer. So when families move, kids are out of school, it kind of makes sense. Except in Miami's case, it looks like everyone is trying to sell at the same time and no one is trying to actually move to Miami.
I wonder why. I wonder why people don't want to move to Florida in general, but certainly not Miami. Could it be something to do with insurance? I don't know. Or maybe it's prices are dropping. Even if you were to buy a home or buy a condo in Florida right now or Miami, whatnot, you still have to deal with HOAs, insurance going up. If you can find insurance, that's another big issue. Can you find insurance? Then you have to deal with the dreaded HOA. We all know what's happening in Florida with the special assessments and everything else. So you can imagine the headache that you would have to deal with buying a property in Florida. And the amount of research that you would have to do to make sure that you're not one of millions of people that are trying their very best to get out of Florida, to sell you a property so that they can trade places and not have to deal with the craziness that's currently happening in Florida right now. But anyway, guys, hopefully you got value out of this, and I showed you guys a wide spread of where everything is going with the housing market currently, from California all the way to Florida. We've covered everything. I don't think I did the New York area, the Northeast. That area is still a little bit hot going on right now. But every other place, guys, listen, it's spreading. And again, if you believe that this wasn't going to spread, you were crazy. You were crazy to believe that. But listen, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, we're all here now, so you have to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you as we speak, guys. But again, if you like content like this, please join my Patreon. We do exclusive videos over there, guys. You guys will love it. Also, too, we know you won't get all of your information from this one video. I need you to watch this video right here. Yes, this one right here. It will give you information on the housing market, financial news, and get you into your first rental property. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.